Alright, so I'm wanting to test a bit of something. I'm going to let the car warm up while I do this stuff. Also, it helps that I need the... That was a solid start. That was a solid cold start. You can believe that I hadn't run it all day. But as I was saying, I need the built-in tire pressure monitoring system in order to do what I'm wanting to do right there. As you can see, my back passenger tire is already down to 25. So I figured why not go ahead and test something that I've been wanting to test for a while. And this is the first kind of part of this entire process, this entire video, because there's a lot more crazy shit about to happen in the rest of this video whenever it is I actually film it. But I'm just going to go ahead and film this part today, and then anyway, it's irrelevant because what you see in editing is everything that I wanted to do, despite when it happened. Now let me go ahead and let a little bit of air out of the back left tire as well. Basically, I'm wanting to see if I drop both my tire pressures down to a pretty low PSI. I'm going to go 25 right now. Just on a street radio, can I see a significantly better time than my average? My average so far has been stuck right around 4.7, I believe it is. So, can I do better than a 4.7 0 to 60 on street tires if I just let enough air out and really zero in that traction? Okay, we are about there. As you can see, I've now got it down to 27. Now you're wondering, what am I going to do about the front tires? I'm not really going to do squat about the front tires, honestly. And the reason for that is because this is rear-wheel drive. This is a rear-wheel drive vehicle. This being a rear-wheel drive vehicle, that's where all the traction really counts. Now, yes, there's something to be said for letting some air out to kind of let down some weight, but it's not really, I don't think, in my opinion, enough to really make a difference in that factor. What's really going to make the difference is getting that traction in the rear wheels. We've got 24 here and 25 over here, so we should be good to go, honestly. So, just kind of driving normally for a little bit and letting the car kind of warm up and build up its oil pressure, all that good stuff. Just doing normal shit will help out. So that's basically where I'm at right now. The next part though is going to be me testing my 0 to 60. Right now my best 0 to 60 it says is 4.6, but that was and I did hit that once legit, but the first time that I hit 4.6, I was going down a slight hill, so that sped up my 0 to 60 a little bit there. I did hit it legit one time on a flat ground, and I have never seen that again. I've always seen the high 4s. So maybe if I could do better than 4.7, 4.8, 0 to 60 over a couple of launches, maybe then I'm seeing the benefit of better traction on the rear wheels due to a lower pressure. So we're going to see that here in a little while. You're going to see it next. I'm going to see it here in a little while. I'll put it that way. Alright, so as you can tell, it is very obviously much later now. I've had food, I'm good, I'm back. We've run the car for a little bit. The coolant temp, let me go back. The coolant temperature, as you can tell, 210, so that's okay, a little middle of the road. Trans temp, it's a little bit cool, but I think it's okay, 147. That's alright, it's a moderate temperature for it. The oil temperature is up to 206, so we're pretty middle of the roads, optimal. And then of course, as you can see, still 26, 25. We're fairly even on the tire pressure. 26 and 25 is not terribly low, especially when you consider with drag radials and stuff. Generally, you're running about 16 or so psi, and that depends entirely on the car and what you find works for you with your setup. So I'm still high for like a professional setup, but these are street tires, not a professional like drag radial setup or nothing like that. These are street tires, and I'm going to treat them as such, and I'm going to keep 26 and 25 as the psi. The recommended factory setting for these is I believe it's like 32, 31, something like that. So we're still rather low. We should still get a better launch regardless, but that's what we're going to go and find out. Okay, so we are pulling up to my unofficial testing grounds. Let me just get all staged up and ready here. Complete fucking stop. Okay, my camera's focused, it's ready. Okay, we're gonna foot brake it. .7. I mean, it's still pretty much right there, but I mean, I feel like I was just a fraction off of 4.6, 0 to 60. And you got to keep in mind also that I'm like filming this myself, so my attention is a little bit split in between everything, like trying to launch, you know, correctly without spinning and all that, as well as filming with a giant ass DSLR camera because my GoPro's battery is pretty much dead. I have some other ideas to add into everything as well, so stay tuned for that in the later part or the next part of this video. It's going to get interesting. That much I can promise. It's going to get very interesting very quickly. So basically, straight into the point of the video, the next part of this video anyway, and that is what my next step is. What is it I am talking about that I'm going to do to try and get a better 0 to 60, just for shits and giggles? And you're going to be, after you see what it is, you're going to be like, this is what you're going through just for the kicks of it, just for the ever living hell of it. And yes is the answer. Yes, in fact, it is what I'm going through just for the kicks of it. Now, what I'm doing. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Me? What am I? Anyway, what I'm doing here is basically another bit of basic weight reduction. Oh my God, he's pulling his car apart again. Yes. Oh my God, I'm pulling my car. That. Yep. So these things are awesome because these things allow for passengers. They allow for people to ride with you. They are not so awesome for going fast because they are extra weight. So, if you haven't guessed it already, we, just for shits and giggles here, just for the kicks of it, we're going to see what kind of 0 to 60 I can get without a passenger seat and without any back seats. Yes, it's a little bit of work to go through, a little bit, just a tiny bit of work to go through, just for something so simple. But the fun thing about that is this is a fun thing to me. So, once again, can't keep this car clean with all the dirt around us. But you'll see right there, I have a little like star key shaped thing, right? It's a star key and not a standard key head. But I just so happen to have found the one head that will work, and I tried it earlier. I fit this over it earlier just to see. I suggest doing it the right way, but if you don't happen to have that and you're a bit like me, you don't really want to go spend more money on the star key specifically for something you might only need one time, right? It'll work just as well to use the 3/8 ratchet head. And you just, once you get it down on there, you should be able to carefully but firmly start twisting it. Since this is not a correctly fitting star key, you want to be careful but firm. I know that sounds absolutely ridiculous, but you'll want to be careful but firm. And it'll start moving just like so. So that's what you want to do. And there's 4 of these. Like there's 2 up front and there's 2 in the back. So again, I recommend using the proper tools for the job. Unlike what I'm doing right now, this is a bad, stupid maneuver, and I honestly shouldn't be doing it this way. I really shouldn't. But it is working, and it is not really causing any damage. It's scratching off a little paint, but that's to be expected. And it's just screw paint, so screw the screw paint. Screw that screw paint! Anyway, yeah, so you do that 4 times for each bolt. But there's another thing. These wires all under here have me a little bit sketched out, but we're going to see what happens, I guess. Start unplugging stuff and figure out what we got. But I think one of them is probably like the seat belt sensor or something, and one's like an airbag deployment sensor or something. So basically at this point, it's a learning experience. It's a learning experience more than it is anything. So let's go with the little yellow thing first. It kind of travels to the underside of the car somewhere. Okay, obviously I guess it would, but okay. There's that, unplugged. It made like a noise when I did that, so that's kind of something. You got this other one right here. There's like a little clip that I can squeeze. I can feel it, but I can't really show it. Come on. Ah, there we go. So now that's undone. I don't know what these do. Probably should try to find out before I start pulling things, but I guess we'll see if it's anything super crazy that'll happen from it. Now, to be fair though, I did look up, I tried to look up anyway, how to remove front seats. Make sure there wasn't any airbag, you know, warnings or anything like that to be scared of. And when I looked this up, I couldn't find any information anywhere on the front seat removal. I found a plethora of videos by comparison anyway on how to remove the back seats, so that was helpful too, but I couldn't find anything on removing front seats. So this is all guesswork to me. Probably if you think you can find out better information somewhere else, keep looking, great, but I might very well be the only person with this information in a video right now. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and remove the other 4 screws, and we're going to see what happens, I guess. But what I will do is I will set up, I think, the GoPro up here or something somewhere, and film just in case something I don't know, crazy does happen. Alright, I'll just be taking this, if you don't mind. But yeah, this is the passenger seat out, sitting right over. Oops. Okay, that's like a shovel thing. That's great.
kill my paint, why don't I? But yep, passenger seat is out, sitting over here. And now, I got a giant empty cavity over here. And it should get a lot, we'll just say louder in here. But right down here at the bottom of the seat, you want to grab hold of it, right? And give it a yank, straight up, a strong yank straight up, and bash your back into the ceiling, hopefully not. All the videos of this so far have looked the exact same. I'm probably not going to be any different. But yeah, right down there you have a little rubber grommet that this little hanging metal piece goes into. And it's the same on both sides. And you just give it a good yank straight up and it comes right out of that rubber grommet, and you are clear. You have no bottom seat then. I think it's relatively straightforward from here. Let me pull my little... Yeah, see? Right there, you got your bigger bolts. You got your bigger bolts, and there will be some over there as well. So once you unbolt those, the upper parts of the seat are gone as well then, and you are pretty much on your way to becoming a base level drag car. And obviously, and there's some things that I'm not going to be doing, like you can remove from there, you can remove like side panels and stuff from the insides. There's a whole host of things that opens up just from removing the seat. So you pretty much tear apart the entire interior, which I'm not doing, at least not at this point in time. I am not doing. So you can bump that idea. I'm just moving the seats to get that amount of weight reduction, which we'll find out how much weight that is at some point eventually. I don't know if I'm going to do it this video or if I'm going to do it in another video just to keep you all on your toes as an update to our weight reduction knowledge. I think though, however, what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to find out whether or not this is an 18 or a 16. I'm going to start with 18 because I'm really suspecting, yeah, that works perfect, 18. So, to answer the question from earlier, 16 or 18, these are in fact 18s. So all you have to do is remove and drop into the slot. Don't drop into the slot, don't do that. That's not the correct instruction. What you want to do is you want to remove all four of these two from this side. Really have to, there we go. You have to really break it loose at first, but after they break loose, they're very easy to just loosen up by hand. And after, what we're going to do, after we remove the seat from each side, is we're going to put these nuts back up on the little bolt stud up here, so that way we don't lose track of them. That is the best thing you could do to keep track of them and not, well, lose them. So we're going to pull them out of there first, and then we're going to put them back up on there once the seats are out. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the rear seat the rest of the way and find the bolts. There's one right there. Find the bolts, and yeah, we will be well on our way to this particular weight reduction entry. Listen up. What's going on with you? There we go. Okay, get these off. I'm going to set them right up here immediately. Boom, look, bam, there we go. Bam, boom, bang, bam, bam, bang, boom, boom, bang. They're right there. They're not down in the slot like the others are. And then, hold on. I think I forgot one. No, yeah, I was wrong. Then there's, but yeah, it looks like there is one more bolt right here as well. So you got the two on the sides and like this one in the middle, it looks like, because there isn't one over here, even though there's a joint stud for it. I don't know why I keep changing the name of what that bolt stud thingy is. But anyway, So yeah, you want to remove that one too, and then you can just pop the seats out. Alright, so my camera decided it didn't run a recorder, at least I don't think it did. But anyway, you have like a driver and like passenger side, driver and passenger side configuration that it comes out in. It's a left and right to the back seats as well, as you see. Comes right up off of the little joists, little joining bolts, little bolt posts. And you have all the empty space leading back to the trunk now. So you'll hear every exhaust note pretty much. More change, of course, because this type of thing would not be complete without an abundance of change. But we're also going to remove everything out of my trunk, including the spare tire and all of that, because we did learn in earlier videos just how much all of that stuff in the trunk, like the spare tire and all that, weighed as well. So it was an ounces make pounds circumstance for sure. So we're going to get rid of that, and we're going to see what we can do with that 0 to 60 this time, because I'm pretty much on board right now on an evening after work, and there is nothing else for me to do right now, honestly. I mean, I could be sitting at a computer playing a game, but this really just seems like more fun. Yeah, tearing my car apart for the sake of an experiment seems like more fun to me, right? Just help me. Goodness gracious, help me. I'm out of my mind. I really swear that I am. Okay, there's that. There's the rest of the stuff. I have time. I have plenty of time to get this stuff back in at an eventual point in time. Now, it's not going to sit out here in the yard that entire time either. As a matter of fact, that is an awesome sound. Look, that's just this little spinny thing. You cannot see it at all, but there's like a little spinny thing that holds the wheel down, and I'm just spinning it really quickly, and it makes that really awesome sound. Anyway, so that's all going to go inside of the house until I get a nice day to put it all back in. Now, if I need a passenger in there in the meantime, then I guess I'm SOL in that regard. But that's pretty much that, I guess, as far as it all goes. So I should be okay, though. I'm planning on maybe getting it back in this weekend, and that'll be after, of course, I do the weight checks on it. Also, these little things, I swear, they rattle around all the time in my trunk, and I cannot keep them in their package. They're like the locking lug nuts and stuff. It's part of the whole locking lug nut kit that comes with the Challenger. And yeah, they get loose and they start rattling around. I should really start keeping them in the glove compartment again. Of the Challenger, laying out here, the back seats, all the pieces of the back seats, the front seat, the trunk pieces, the spare tire, everything. It's all right here. So, pretty safe to say we are as weight reduced as I'm really willing to go right now. But now, the only question remaining is, how does he drive? How's it actually drive right now? Well, I intend on answering that question, but I'm going to go ahead and get this stuff put up in a nice safe location, and then we will go and find out what kind of 0 to 60 we can douse this time. Alright, so here goes something. This is actually my first startup without any of the stuff in here as well. I'm actually going to close the door, and we're going to see how loud it is with the door closed with none of the stuff in here. You ready? And I mean, I could tell a difference, but it wasn't that bad. I can still tell a difference in how it's running and all. Oh, yep, here we go, all the warning lights and stuff. It says service airbag, it said service airbag system and all that. One of those wires down there attached to that seat was in fact to the airbag system. And we should still be kind of okay. Yeah, all the temperatures are down, oil temp's down, oil pressure's up, of course, where it should be. Transmission to cool temp. We're all kind of good. Transmission's cool, so that's good. Oil temp's a little bit cool, so I'll drive a little bit and get that warmed up. But again, as always, once this is warmed up, we will see what I can do with a 0 to 60. All right, so we are kind of at the race destination. I am at 210 oil temp now, so we're about the same. We're good. Everything is basically set. Tire pressures are basically the same as they were. So now, let's just go stage. Okay. Get my RPMs ready. Holy crap! I spun a lot. I spun a lot. That was a 5.0. So that was drastic. That was pretty drastically worse. Okay, we are ready again. Let's go ahead. Get our RPMs up. There we go. .8. I still can't quite get it up there, but I did set my launching RPMs a little bit lower, and if you can believe it or not, it makes a little bit of a difference in this car. Just even like a little bit, just a little bit over from where you launch. Okay, I think I'm ready. Okay, that's enough. I think I'm pretty well pushing the car quite enough back to back. I don't want to push it too hard, as this is my daily driver. So I think that's quite enough. So this is obviously a different day. This is obviously a different day that I'm doing this outro. And it was kind of dark, and the audio, it was just a lot of stuff was screwed up on it. So I'm reshooting it today while I'm editing it. And basically what happened there with the last launch is the car kind of felt a little bit different, and it sounded a little weird. That's the only way I know how to describe it. Weird how? I can't quite describe. Nothing's screwed up on it, thankfully, but I wasn't comfortable launching it again. Now, like, full send is great and all if you have a backup vehicle. I don't really reliably have a backup vehicle. It didn't quite launch quite as well as I had hoped. And my theory I have a theory for this. My theory for this is I had the full weight of the vehicle down on the back tires, right? And then I remove these seats, and I remove who knows how much weight off of the tires. So that little bit more is like a little bit of relief. Therefore, a little bit more unsprung energy is kind of taken off of the springs in the back. So I'm not quite getting as much pressure down on the tires. Some of it's actually been alleviated from the rear tires, as a matter of fact, and that made that. Oh, and not to mention the trunk stuff, the tire, the spare tire, the jack, all the stuff in the trunk was also removed from it. So that's quite a bit of weight being removed off the back tires. So the pressure I had was great to get grip then, but then after that, it became about even, if that makes sense. Like, so
what I'd have to do now is drop the tire pressure down a little bit more to get the same level of grip with less weight, and therefore it would propel me that much better on said weight. Now, am I going to go through this trouble? But yeah, I love seeing subscriber notifications. I love seeing like notifications, comments. I love all that stuff. Also, you can follow me on my Instagram and my Twitter, linked below in the video. And those are great ways to get notifications when I go to live with a new video. Another great way to know when I go live with a new video is to turn on notifications. I'm sorry if I sound a little tired right now, but I am. I just got off work a few hours ago, and then I've been hammering out this video, so I'm really just kind of on it. Not to mention this week I've kind of been every other day hammering out a 12-hour shift, so I'm a little bit worn out. And once this video is over, I'm actually probably going to go rest. But anyway, if you all enjoy the video, go do that stuff, and I'll see you all in the passenger seat next ride.
Hey, look, guys, I'll be darned. Y'all might want to clean your Challengers this particular way, and by this particular way, I mean like this. Not endorsing this, but look, I didn't set this up or nothing. I promise. Look, well, like not like some intent, but look, I removed it. I heard like a clang. I thought like there was some washers I didn't see that fell. Nope. I guess my Challenger just happened to have a couple little gold dollars laying around. Now, I guarantee you though, if I'm being real here, if I'm being honest here, this is back from when my work had a coin machine and it spat out the little gold coins. But I just found that kind of funny. I don't even know where they fell from. I guess it was stuck between the seats or something.